Hey there, how are you? It's Manny Cabrera with the Sidekicks Family Martial Arts Centers. I'm the chief instructor. We have a location right in beautiful Lithia, Florida, where I'm getting actually to look out at the windows as a beautiful sunset. Thank you for joining me today. I just wanted to get online for a couple minutes and talk to you guys about one thing. On Saturday, I did a video about how to help your child develop their intellectual courage. And one of the things that we like to do is be practical about how we help kids do things. And one of the methods that we use is called the Black Belt Success Formula. And so this is something that's very popular in the martial arts, but it actually originally came from motivational and success coach Tony Robbins. And many years ago, I learned this as a child. And this is kind of how the framework for which I've helped myself to achieve goals over the years, and how I've helped the thousands of kids that I have worked with through our martial arts program here at Sidekicks, and to help kids to develop their intellectual courage, to achieve their goals. In fact, we have a group of our teens and adults out on the mat in the main classroom right now, training, utilizing those very methods. And so, we want to make sure that when we're working with our kids, that we're helping them to not just identify goals, but to create the plan that goes with it, and understand that action is the number one thing that you need in order to achieve those goals. And at the same time, know that there are going to be setbacks over time. Know that there's going to be times when you don't get the best result that you're looking for, and how to grab those ideas, make adjustments, and then continue pressing forward. So really, we're going to talk about 5 things right now that are comprised what we call the Black Belt Success Formula, or as, like I said, Tony Robbins calls it, the ultimate success formula. So the first one is that you got to know what you want. So when we're working with kids, we a lot of times use black belt as the first kind of concrete goal in teaching them how to know, what it is that they want. Or they want to earn their black belt, because that's the first major milestone in the martial arts. It might be that they want to get into a good college, or they want to get a good job, or they want to learn to ride a bike, or whatever the thing that it is you first have to identify concrete and clearly what it is that you want. And so, after we help them identify what it is they want, a lot of times, like I said, here at Sidekicks in our martial arts program, we help them identify what they want by starting with the first goal of becoming a black belt. So we want to help them know what they want. Then they got to get a plan. They got to, and they got to have the coach to go along with it, who is going to help them to get towards their goal. In the martial arts, obviously, it's the instructors. If there's a sport like baseball or soccer, it's to get with somebody who can help them not just learn and develop their skill sets in the particular sport, but someone who can be a trainer or conditioner like Tim Grover, who worked years and years with Michael Jordan to help him to be the absolute peak best that he could possibly be. In a lot of times we work with the kids to help them, not just learn the punches and kicks, but also the intangible lessons of martial arts, like developing their confidence and their integrity. And like this month, as part of our powerful word, we're helping them develop compassion. And so once you have the coach can see, hey, this is where you are. They're, a lot of times if you have working with a good one, they're objective about it. And this is where you want to go. Here is the road in between those two paths. This is the work that you're going to have to do. That person can encourage them as well. So first step is knowing what you want. And you know what? The best thing is to have a clear, concrete goal that's met, like what they call it the SMART goals: specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely. And then the second thing is to get a plan. All right. And so once you got the plan, then there is only one way that you're going to be successful in getting to where you want to go. It's you're going to have to take massive amounts of consistent action. Because you know what? You could spend all your time creating the best plan, and then until you take action, it's just a wish. It's just your dream. It's just, something that you would like to do. You got to take that first step, and sometimes it's going to take a long time. I got part of my beard here, man, is sticking out. It's going to take a long time, and it's going to, and it may be a short-term goal, but knowing that you have to take action and they take that first step is one of the biggest things that helps students to become successful in our program, because they have to say, hey, you know what? You came and joined martial arts. You're not going to be a black belt overnight. You know what I mean? Like that doesn't happen that way. If you want to be successful, through martial arts and to earn your black belt, you're gonna have to become to class, and then you're gonna have to earn. In our particular case, you earn a series of stripes, which are the benchmarks in their progression towards their next belt. They gotta earn their next belts, and all of this time they're marching towards that goal. But it's that consistent application of action is going to help them to get there. How are they going to be good at baseball? How are they going to become a scientist? How are they going to be, successful in, someday when they want to buy a house? It's going to be all through consistent action. All right. And then, you know what? Sometimes we get, started off and we don't always get the results that we're looking for at first. And, the next step, the fourth step in this one case is called, originally it was called sensory acuity, but basically it's reviewing your progress. It's saying, okay, I did this, I took this action. Did this get me closer to my goal? Did it get me further away from my goal? Did nothing change? Is there maybe a better action that would get me even, give me a bigger result rather than what it is that I'm doing now? Maybe there's a working smarter versus just working hard, working smart and hard versus just working hard. Or maybe it's like if it was studying for a test, maybe it has a lot to do, for children at least, maybe it had to do with, the way that they were studying. Were they studying with the television on and that got them one result? Well, maybe now we know that mom was right after all, and we should turn the TV off while we're studying for our test. We are not going to retain the information along the process. Because what happens is if we don't instill that, review your progress, develop that sensory acuity, then what ends up happening with kids is that they encounter that first brush of a setback and they quit. Martial arts is not easy. And so we don't want them to get into the situation where they encounter that they don't get things perfect right away. And then all of a sudden, well, this is just too hard. I don't want to do this. Because how long in a child's life when they grow up, they're going to encounter many setbacks. I mean, if we think about 2020 has basically been a big setback for a lot of people, right? And if we just say, okay, man, this is just too hard, then we're not going to be able to navigate our way through it. And we want to equip our kids now for what they're going to encounter someday in their future as well. And then, you know what? The last step is changing your approach. Changing, if you were trying something, it didn't work the right way, you didn't get the result that you want, change it and try again. And that's why we call it a cycle, because it starts with knowing what you want and then, developing the plan and getting a coach and then taking consistent action, reviewing your progress. And then after you've reviewed your progress, it's back to the beginning of the cycle is to, okay, we're going to change our approach. We know what we want. How's our plan going to go? And so over time, you're going to win more than they're going to lose. And so for us, the Black Belt Success Cycle is how we help students develop what we call Chungshil, which means constant, never-ending improvement. And so the greatest part of all of that is that they're going to make that consistent progress over time. And so that's just one of the ways that you can actually help your child is to create that 5-step framework, knowing what they want, getting a plan and making sure that they identify who can help them get there. It may not just be their instructors or their teachers or you. It may be, allies along the way, peers that push them, to be better. Then at the same time, being able to turn around and help the people who are on the same journey with them, but maybe a little earlier in helping them to get to their goals as well. We call that plus, minus, and equals. And then, taking consistent action over time, taking a lot of consistent action over time, reviewing that progress. And then, if something's not working, changing your approach. And so I hope that this is something that you can actually and take and help your children with. And if you would like help from a team that does this every single day, you just go to the website at ilovesideKicks.com and we can actually show you how we help kids do it through our martial arts program and how all that kind of stuff bleeds into school and athletics and, one day their job and the relationships that they develop as an adult. Again, my name is Manny Cabrera. I'm the chief instructor at Sidekicks Family Martial Arts Centers. Thank you so much for spending your time with me, and have a great evening.